What is up, y'all? It is your host, Rennie, and you're listening to another episode of the Call Me Crazy podcast. What is up, y'all? Happy Thursday. Unlike any other Call Me Crazy podcast episode in history of the Call Me Crazy podcast, today I will be recording and uploading on the same day. So happy Thursday, y'all. This is a bonus episode, a solo dolo, me getting in my solo mojo, if you will, episode. So I think I like catching up with you guys in between series alone, right? Just me and you shooting the shit about what has gone down in the past 5 episodes. The last series was also 5 episodes, so who knows? 5 might be our lucky number here on the Call Me Crazy podcast. As I wish I could dedicate all my time solely to the podcast because it brings me so much love and light to my life, I can't. I need to pay the bills. I have not only my own mouth to feed, but my dogs to feed. And to be completely and totally transparent with you, I am dealing with an ex-client of mine who is putting me through some financial hardships. So with that being said, a lot of my time has been allotted elsewhere, and respectively so. I am grateful that I have help and resources through this time, in reflecting on this time and on the past, right? On the many of clients I've had, and just reflecting on RH Collective's legacy thus far. I have realized some cracks in my armor, and this situation was not the tipping point to realizing that. There are many things that I didn't do in the beginning of my business because I had no idea to do it that I knew would catch up with me in the long run. But knowledge is power, and knowledge is also kept from minorities, and I just didn't have anyone in my family or in my circle or in my network who I trusted enough to ask these questions to, and who I trusted enough that they would have an answer worth sharing. So with all that being said, I'm grateful for this time. With every level, there is a new devil. So I'm dealing with this old devil, right? And after this, I will elevate through these trials and tribulations. I will elevate through it, and then I should not be surprised if I'm met with another situation of the same sort, or not even the same sort, because we hope that we learned from this situation. But that's just all to say that once you get off or over one hurdle, don't be surprised if there's another one lying ahead of you. So I did not come on here today to talk about my personal problems. I don't know how we got there, but we did. Those are my current personal problems. Bada bing, bada boom. Let's skip over it. All right. So this is the recap. This is the rundown. This is the Rennie recap rundown. Hey, you know what I mean? So let's go through last season. It was a goodie. It was a goodie. And we ended on such a high note that we have to revel in what just happened. We have to revel in the recap. So the first episode came out about a month ago now. It was posted on August 17th on my birthday. I forgot about that. So a little over a month ago, I sat down with my friend Shania. We went to school together, and it feels like a lifetime since we have connected, but I was so interested in all of the work that she's doing in crypto. So we sat down for episode 10. What the hell is cryptocurrency? Because I know y'all want to know. I know y'all get those DMs. And I know you have friends who are personally texting you about crypto. I know you see it on, commercials. I know you see it as pop-ups on on the internet while you're surfing the webs. I know you're seeing it everywhere because I'm seeing it everywhere and I'm not even looking for it, right? I'm sure after this podcast, all of us will start getting more of it because, yeah, Siri, we know you listening. Shut up. I don't even have her on, so she ain't even gonna activate. But that was such a great episode. I love learning about things I have no idea about because there is money being made in crypto. There has to be money being made in crypto. There's no way there's not money being made in crypto, but where is it being made? How is it being made? What is legitimate? What is false? Like, I wanted to know. So that episode is incredible. She will be back for a part 2. We've already started tackling some of the shots that we need for our part 2, but get into it, because it is going to be way more in depth and just on another level. I think we just scratched the surface of crypto and all of the buzzwords that we see, the NFTs, the blockchains, and everything like that. So we did a quick rundown, and not quick at all. I mean, it was an hour and 15 minutes, but that's quick to me, right? So that was a great episode to start off with, a business that I have no idea about. And if I didn't already say, last season was the Be About Your Business series. I love that name. I think one of my favorite things about podcasting is thinking about the series name. So episode 11, Street Art, Streams of Income, and Solitude with Arta Jermaine went up the following Wednesday, August 24th. And this was such a great conversation. Was that a lisp? This was such a great conversation. This is one of my favorite people to have conversations with. And we met not too long ago now. But Jermaine, who is Arta Jermaine, who is also the owner of Culture, we just flow so well. And I feel like y'all could tell that. Y'all could tell that? Yeah. Well, obviously, y'all is improper grammar, but the rest of that sentence messed me up in the head. Y'all can tell me down below if it was wrong or not. But Jermaine and I have worked together on photography projects. We work together on my podcast here, as you guys can see. This season, like I said, was uploaded every Wednesday. We went up on a Wednesday, right? This next series is going to be uploaded on Fridays, so I thought I would give you a bonus episode on Thursday. The first series went up on Fridays, and I'm coming back round. Like I said, if you guys don't give me feedback, I'm just going to keep trying different things until I feel positive and secure on that decision. So unless y'all tell me otherwise, I'm going to keep dabbling and diving into different upload days. So that's just that on that. So Thursday bonus episode into Friday, kicking off this next series. But anyways, going back to episode 11, all about art and basically Jermaine's story and how he provides a very amazing life for him and his family through his art, which is an incredible thing because we always hear about the starving artist trope, and it's really refreshing to hear the opposite. And that didn't come from, fairy dust and rainbows. It came from hard work. So tune into that if you haven't already. Following that, we have episode 12 with my old boss, Ahmad. I feel like every time I say that, I don't want to be misconstrued and people think I'm calling Ahmad old. He is very young. He is very lively. He's very healthy and he's wealthy. So why not have him on the Be About Your Business series? Episode 12, the personal trainer to gym owner pipeline with Ahmad Mickens. That was honestly the pipeline I thought I was going to go down, and it's going to be a little bit different for me. I'm definitely going to open my own gym up especially centered around content creation. I just think that would be such a cool concept and something that's already being done in slick ways, but I want to be more loud and proud about it anyways. Steal my idea if you want to. It ain't happening anytime soon. Not that it isn't. Not that it isn't, because it very well could. Gyms are not a dying business. They're very much something that people will need and still need, but it's not a business to profit from. It's solely from the love of loving fitness and wellness and everything that comes with that. It's not so much a money grab in that sort of sense. And I feel like restaurants are the same. You're a chef, you're passionate about food, whatever it may be, you open a restaurant, but you know that that restaurant is going to suck the soul out of your bank account and your heart, but you love it, so you do it anyways, kind of thing. You feel? So Ahmad has been able to stay afloat through the crash and burn in 07, 09, and also the pandemic. So he has really come out on top for a thriving, small, Black-owned business in Stamford, Connecticut. Like I said, Ahmad used to be my old boss. I used to be a personal trainer as well as a boxing class instructor there over at Revolution Training. So, of course, I had to highlight my favorite gym and the gym that I still go to today, Revolution Training. Am I okay? Like, can I talk? Do I have a lisp that I am not aware of? Because now I just want to enunciate the shit out of my words. Revolution Training. Okay. You know what I feel like when it comes... Okay, hold on. I need to drink some water. You know what I feel like when it comes to solo episodes? I feel like because I don't have a moment to like catch my breath, my thought, or just like, I don't know, think about a response to someone else. Like I feel like I jump from topic to topic to top, or like the conversation is jumping like the club, you know what I mean? Because it's just like there's no one to bounce off of. And also it's so free flowing, whereas I've spent 10 years, you know, putting together YouTube videos, but I feel like my sit down YouTube videos, there were cuts, there were edits, and there were places where I was pausing in order for those edits to be had. So it's just a different format. And that is why I am not only doing solo episodes way less than I thought I would, but I'm no longer recording the visuals for it. And that's not because I don't want to be seen in any sort of way on camera. I'm just a perfectionist. So the setup that I currently have in my room isn't the greatest. I don't want to create a setup in my closet / living room, and my kitchen isn't really anything to call home about. So I was like, all right, what did I not like about my first solo episode, and what can I do better next time? I didn't like the visual. So I could put forth more effort into the visual aspect of the solo episodes, or I can drop the visual for now and I can make more solo episodes with just an audiograph. You know what I mean? Like the people who are listening to it just for the audio, it doesn't affect them. And the people who need a visual, you still will have an audiograph and also graphics that are popping up on the screen, video and picture examples, if I have any, for what I'm talking about. So I'm going to try to make it fun for you guys, as well as taking the pressure off of myself when I know I could be creating more content if I did. Like, you know, if you've watched me on YouTube for years, that I will come on the screen with a bonnet, with frizzy hair, with no makeup, with I've definitely been on camera with like some just woke up drool that I didn't realize and didn't edit out at some point. This is very well possible. So it's not so much about how I am on camera or how I look or how people perceive me. It's more so the setup and the standard that I have created in my own head for the podcast. Because, like I said, in a vlog, you could catch me looking crazy. But in the podcast and in the last podcast episode, I was so upset about my flushed face against the yellow background and all of the yellow walls bringing more yellow, making it harder to, manipulate the hues, at least for me, because I'm not a videographer. Like, I was trying to do as much as I could on my dinky, editing platform that has worked for me for probably, upwards of 6-7 years, that I just made it black and white because I was so upset about it. And then I was like, oh, the art doesn't look as good black and white. And then I just had a whole thing. So anyways, here we are, audiograph. If you're on the YouTubes or Spotify, and if you're not, you don't even care about this conversation. So let's get on with it. After my old boss at Revolution, I went ahead and interviewed my friend Lena. Lena is a dog park friend turned real friend. We're both dog moms, and we get to talking when we're out with the dogs. We go on hikes, we meet each other at the dog park, and it's just a really nice friendship to have. I don't have many people who live near me who have dogs, who kind of have my same work schedule, that can just pick up and take the dogs pretty much virtually whenever, hang out for a few, and then go and be on our way and do what we got to do for the rest of the day. She just gets it. She gets it. So that was episode 13, The Corporate Construction with Lena Cooper. Again, I love naming these things. Might not be making sense, but I try to do my due diligence in naming these things. I had Lena on the Be About Your Business series because she, like Shania, has worked in a world that I never have and probably never will, right? More so Lena's side than Shania's side. Maybe you'll see me get into cryptocurrency. Listen, I do have a little bit in Bitcoin, so we'll see how that goes. Anyways, Lena and the corporate construction. I will never be in corporate life, or I will never be submerged in corporate life the way most Americans have and will continue to be. The traditional high school, college into corporate America trajectory is just, I have passed that point of being able to hop on that train, but also it's not looking like I'm gonna head that way toward the future. So I loved hearing about her experience, some of what made me sad and just realize the reality of the working woman. Obviously I am a working woman, but not someone who's actually like, although I'm a fly in the milk in most places, just in my radius, when I think about my clients and who I've worked with, very few times have I been dominated by the white male persona. It's usually white women that I work with. Yeah, I confidently say it's usually white women who I work with. And, I've had clients of all races and genders, but my track record speaks to that. So I just was, I was honored for her to share her experience and her story. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you guys learned something from it. I hope if you didn't, you could relate to it and, take something from it. If not, just be entertained for 51 minutes. That episode I actually recorded the day I was leaving for Africa, which I will never record a podcast the day I'm going out of the country, or I just shouldn't have done it in the way that I did it. What I simply mean by that is that I traveled almost an hour to the location to film it, and then I had to drive an hour back, and we were kind of cutting it close on the times there. So I think I got there around like I don't know, between 11 and 12, we recorded, and I like zipped out of there probably around 2-ish, got home around 3, had to pretty much start and finish packing for my out of the country trip in less than an hour. And too much stress. I'm going to try not to do work on the days that I'm traveling, and especially to that extent. That was major. Speaking of major, the last episode of the Be About Your Business series was with my newfound friend Alex, the owner of Jet Black Travel and the company who took me to Mama Africa, baby. Like, are you kidding me? I still can't believe I took myself to Africa. I mean, Jet Black took me, but I got myself there. No, they got me there. I took myself. I don't know. The verbiage is getting a little hazy, but episode 14, I went to Africa with Jet Black Travel. I cannot wait to get back to podcasting with Alex. So many of the friends that I met on that trip were just like, wow, y'all flow incredibly. Can we get another episode? And I'm like, well, first of all, Alex is constantly traveling out of the country, and he lives in Atlanta. So we are making plans, a few friends of mine and Alex, to see each other. I want to make a trip out to Atlanta. I need to be in the mecca of my people as far as like the States goes. I feel like a lot of beautiful, blooming Black people are in Atlanta, and I'm ready to network. I'm ready to meet people, and I'm ready for another episode with Alex. Anyways, this last episode was filmed in Senegal. Senegal, for those of you who don't know, I don't think I've ever shared this on my YouTube before, but it is actually where I'm from in Africa. I am West African, and I am from Senegal. My father doesn't know too much about our roots or if we have any lineage still in Senegal, but the experience alone, just going to the homeland as a whole, going home to Africa, and being specifically in Senegal just made it so much, not more real, but more intentional for further visits and foundation laying in the future. So it was the perfect trip. I remember talking to my therapist for months about wanting to go on a solo trip and thinking about maybe places that I could solo travel, like solo road trip to with the dogs, because I love including the dogs in my travels if I can, if there's no airfare. I mean, actually Sasha went to Florida once, but airfare with dogs is a whole lot, and especially with two. I haven't done so ever. I've only done it with Sasha once, but it was a lot. She shit and pissed in the airport, so could only imagine if that would have happened on the airplane. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, so I was like, maybe I can take a solo road trip. Maybe, you know, there's like a cabin in the woods. And then I said it out loud, and I was like, damn, a cabin in the woods. Am I signing my death certificate now? And then I thought about travel groups, and I truly did not know Jet Black Travel was a travel group. I just simply thought they were a viral Instagram page who reposts beautiful Black travels. And one day, because, you know, Instagram, I don't know what they're doing over at Instagram with the algorithm and all the things that happen on that app. But I feel like I don't see anyone's stories. I feel like I see like 5 people's stories like over and over. Those are people I'm interested in. And then I don't see many people's stories unless I start like tagging them, engaging with them, liking their posts, like doing the most to get their content pushed to me. So I just randomly see a Jet Black Travel post, Instagram story, not a post. And I've never seen their stories before. Like, I don't even really recognize the cadence and the way that they post on their stories. That's how, you know, little I see of them on the story aspect of Instagram. And it said 4 spots left to Senegal. And I was like, this is it. This is the one. I checked the pricing. came out to be probably a little bit under $5,000 for 6 nights, 7 days plus airfare. Airfare was not included. I'm just summing the whole trip up. But yeah, there was a payment plan available. So I said, absolutely, I can swing this. And I love a payment plan. I love splitting things up until we really get to the date. It just makes the most sense. And it makes me also realize, how much this is really taking out of my monthly income, right? So I booked the trip, I get there, and the synergy in the room with 27 people, I think it was like 27, 29 people, was incredible. If you know me, you know I don't like people. I get along with people really well, and I know how to socialize, but 90% of the people I meet, I would not hang out with them otherwise, right? Outside of business, on my own time. Hardly ever, right? So if you're a real friend of mine if I spend time with you outside of work. And if I don't spend time with you outside of work, that does not mean you're not a real friend of mine. Don't take that in the wrong way. I'm just generalizing statements right now. There are obviously so many exceptions to that of what I just said. So anyways, being with that many people is just a shock for me in general, and that was something else that I was testing. I was testing my my socializing skills. No, because I have great socializing skills. I was testing my social meter. I guess the best way I can think to put it right now is I was testing my social meter. My threshold for socializing is very low. When I'm on my own time, when I'm doing something that has nothing to do with business or networking or things of that nature, I like one-on-one experiences. For my birthday, I think that really showed as I celebrated with so many little pockets of my life. I'm not the person to throw a big birthday party and expect everyone in my life to come. I more so like to see one friend here and one friend there, and maybe have dinner with my 5 family members here, and then me and my mom do a dinner alone. That's my bread and butter. That's my je ne sais quoi. That is what I love, is just getting to spend individual time with people so you can give your utmost attention to them and that experience. I feel like when you have a big birthday party like that, it's kind of like weddings where people come back from their wedding day and are like, oh my God, I didn't even get to talk to 75% of my guests because it's just so hard. So yeah, that's what I like for birthdays going forward. I didn't really celebrate my birthday much the past couple of years, but moving forward and this year, it was so nice to almost feel like my birthday was a month long and to see people throughout the whole month of August and celebrate with them, as well as this trip being from August 31st to September 7th, me technically getting home on September 8th. It was another birthday celebration, even though we got into September, and I don't even know, what is that, a Virgo or a Libra? I think we're in Libra season right now. I'm not astrology versed, but everyone's been talking about Libras, and that's October for sure. Maybe it's Virgo, but I was still psilocybin? No, I was still celebrating well past my birthday month, and Alex was definitely a proponent of that. I know on our first night out as a group, he got a birthday cake for like 3 people, including me, who were celebrating our birthday, and it just made us feel so special. At least it made me feel special. The sparklers on the cake in the club, that was different. Never had it. So thank you, Alex. Wow. I feel like that conversation with Alex was about business, but it was also just about self-development as well. Well, I guess in relation to business as well. How many times am I going to say as well? Okay. So if you haven't already checked that episode out, please do. I had so much fun. recording it, but I also, when I have fun while editing, it's when I don't have to edit hardly anything out. So that episode was like that. And this next episode with Naeem, who I also met on my trip to Africa, was like that. The editing process was super smooth, super easy. I just kind of had to play around with the in-betweens when I switched angles. But very, very minute changes, and I just added some text to the visuals for you YouTube watchers. So if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. You never know. And maybe if you're strictly an audio listener, maybe one day you'll get curious. So subscribe just in case you do. If you always watch on YouTube and you're a spectator and you haven't subscribed, you must do so absolutely immediately. How dare you? I'm screaming at you through the audio graph. If you don't know what an audio graph is, it's the visualization of the audio wave on the screen. Wow, that almost sounded like a Webster definition, but I'm sure Webster's definition is way better. Anyways, like, subscribe, that's YouTube, okay? We'll push that to the side. Apple Podcasts. It's also a subscription, but not that you have to pay for it, but I believe the button says subscribe. So subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, follow the podcast on Spotify and on Amazon Podcasts, as well as on our podcast Instagram at callmecrazy.pod on Instagram. You've got the bite-sized gems over there, ladies and gents. So if you have trouble focusing on long-form content, all of the video content clips that you want to see will be there on the Instagram page. So thank you for listening. This was a bit longer than my last solo episode, and I truly believe that's because I'm not being recorded. I truly believe I just feel a sense of like, okay, you can breathe and you can relax and you can be yourself and you can chit chat, patty whack. And I feel like that's why it's longer. My posture is probably the main thing that I have to be conscious of when I'm recording a podcast, and I am full banana backed. Full banana backed. My chiropractor would be so upset, but alas. I hope you guys enjoyed my solo dolo, getting in my solo mojo. All right, we're going to find a better name for the solo podcast, but until then, just deal with me. Deal with me the way I am. And then you got to be around for when I'm better. All right? Next episode goes live tomorrow morning. And we're moving into the Mahal Kita series. If you don't know what Mahal Kita means, it means I love you in Filipino. And not only is it a beautiful thing to say to those you love, it is also the name for my collaboration collection with the Need and Co. Don't know why I had to sing that, but it is something I am so proud of. It is currently live on the Anita & Co website right now. 5 pairs of earrings, all dedicated to women that I love, and a necklace, which is also dedicated to a little girl I love, my beautiful baby sister Sola. So shop that collection. If you got some Libras in your life, if you got some people who have birthdays in November, don't know what that, horoscope sign is, but horoscope sign. Wow, is she well versed in astrology? Your astrological sign. Your November babies, your October babies, your December babies, your January babies, get them something from the Mahal Kita collection because they need it and they want it. Christmas is coming, other holidays that I don't partake in and will probably be disrespecting if I say it's during this time period and it's not actually. I think I can confidently say that Kwanzaa is in December as well. But all the other ones, I'm not too positive, and I don't want to be canceled for lying on a religion's celebration. So anytime you're thinking of gifting in this holiday season, please think about me and Anita & Co. The profits are split between the two of us as it is a collaboration. Anita & Co. is owned by my good friend Mandy, who is a Latina-owned business here in Connecticut, as well as me, who is a Black-owned business owner here in Connecticut. So please support us. We'd be so eternally grateful. We put so much love in this collection and intention and inclusivity and all of those good and great things. It is something I am so proud of, and we'll be talking more about at the end of the series. So it might not be the end. It actually might be the end, might be the middle. You know what? Who knows? It could be after Naeem's episode, but we shall see. We shall see. I will talk to you guys later. And until then, follow me everywhere. It's all in the description box below. Bye.